Welcome to Basic and Bookish Podcast, where today we are discussing our first reactions and our favorite moments and characters from Queen of Shadows, Book 4 of the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. I'm Kinsey.
And I'm Karly. I'm experiencing the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas for the first time.
Yay! And I am here as a resident Throne of Glass fan to guide the way. Honestly, I cannot wait to discuss your reactions to certain scenes for this episode because this is my favorite book of the series.
Today we are discussing our Queen of Shadows, Book 4, thoughts and reactions, including favorite key characters and moments, and my predictions for the next Throne of Glass book. You can check out our timestamps for each section in the show notes.
This is part of our Massive Maasverse Mayhem Crash Course season, where we will cover favorite ACOTAR, Throne of Glass, and Crescent City moments, world building and lore breakdowns, ACOTAR 6 theories, and more before the sequel's release on October 27th, 2026. And once ACOTAR 6 is here, we'll be right by your side to recover from the inevitable cliff hangover before ACOTAR 7's release on January 12th, 2027. And yes, we will be updating our theories between releases.
This is your official spoiler warning for Queen of Shadows. If you haven't finished reading Queen of Shadows yet, we recommend pausing the show and returning after you finished.
Due to the nature of this book, this podcast is rated R in content and language.
If you'd like to skip the ads and have access to full video formats, it's available now on Patreon. That link can be found in our show notes.
Now, prepare to break through the word gate because we're entering the Maasverse. Okay, so we're going to start this conversation, obviously, with our characters. But before we play Fuck, Marry, Kill, I just want to say, surprise! Lysandra's back! How did you feel about her return? Like, were you excited? Were you a little hesitant at first? Like, oh no, she's going to fuck things up? Because I, for one, adore her. And I love that now that both Aelin and Lysandra have matured and they're like, wait, we're actually both victims and we were intentionally pitted against each other. Now they're such girls and I love their friendship. So I want to hear what you have to say about Lysandra in this book.
I was so excited when she was back on page, immediately excited. I don't think I ever suspected that like she was double crossing Aelin or anything like that. Because, I mean, if you remember from our Assassin's Blade episode, I was like, she's getting a bad rap. This isn't fair. And I want her to have, like, chance to, like, be shown for who she really is and to also be shown as a victim because she is a victim.
She is a total victim.
Yeah. So, nope, I really like her a lot. And I'm glad my instincts were right.
Oh, that warms my heart. Yeah. Okay, so I can finally tell you about this ring I got at BookCon. Okay. So it's from Darling Embers. It's called the Lysandra.
Oh, okay.
And I chose the specific one because the gem almost looks like it has a serpent inside, and it's because she's a shapeshifter. And so I was like, oh my God, it's like perfect for her. But was that a surprise? Because I, for one, was not expecting the shapeshifting twist at all.
You know, I think I've read enough shifter books that when they start describing characters as like moving feline-like, that I'm always like, oh, what's going to happen here? And there was a part where she was doing something and Aelin was like, she was moving cat-like or something like that. And I was like, oh, I bet she's going to turn out to be able to shift into an animal form. Now, I didn't know that there were like shifters, like that they could change any form at that point. Like, and maybe that had been mentioned and I've just forgotten it. But I assumed she was going to have an animal form like Rowan. So when she shifted, I was so excited. I was like, yes, let's go. Because I knew it. And when it happened in the same book, I was so excited.
It's everything to me. Like, I'm like, you're such a badass bitch. Like, I fucking love Lysandra so much. It was so hard for me to talk poorly about her in the Assassin's Blade because she's a fan favorite. I will just tell you right now, like, she's incredible.
Well, I'm glad the girl got her redemption because I was reading her in Assassin's Blade. I'm like, I feel really sad for you. Like, I realized Sam's mom was like, I could either be a courtesan or an assassin. And she's like, assassin's better. I was like, I feel real bad for my girl, Lysandra. Like, obviously, she being sold into that is horrible. But like, when assassin is the better option, I'm like, this is real bad. This is real bad.
Well, could you imagine if Lysandra ended up joining the Assassin's Guild instead of becoming a courtesan with her skill set as a shapeshifter? Oh my God, I think that she would be more intimidating than Aelin and Manon because that girl, if she was an assassin,
she could have been anybody. I mean, assuming that there was magic available for her to do that, but like, she could have been anybody. Like, she could have like tended to be Dorian and gotten access to the king and just killed him years ago.
Yeah. Like, well, like, but like now that magic is gone, like if she did have that training, like, oh, she would have been unstoppable.
Yeah.
Okay. But speaking of redemption arcs, another character who we did get a huge redemption was Kaltain.
Yes.
And that one I felt so guilty over because I loathed her in the Throne of Glass book 1. And so like to see her being possessed and then realizing she's also a badass bitch and she took care of business on her own. Like Dorian needed a lot of help to get over his possession, but Kaltain like killed the Valg Prince on her own and then took everyone out with her. I was like, oof, tears were shed for my girl Kaltain.
No, that whole scene was really heartbreaking, also incredibly powerful. And I'm really glad that she at least got her moment to show that, like, when she was able to, like, take back her choice for a moment, she chose right and did the right thing, even if it meant sacrificing herself. And, I mean, and you remember when we talked about her in Throne of Glass that I was just like, I just don't think this is a girl that had a lot of good options. And, like, God knows what they're doing to her because something's, like, not right. Again, like, I feel like she's a very, and I'm really not sure how far the Bridgerton show deviates from the books because I've never read the books, but Cressida in Bridgerton, like, to me, she was a very Cressida-like character. Like, she was trying to survive with the options she had available to her and the resources she had available to her, and her options sucked.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Her sacrifice in the end was really, really meaningful.
Oh, it was. I was like, oh. And then the fact that Elite is looking for Aelin and doesn't know that she's also looking for Selena Sardathi and it's the same person. I'm like, oh, it kills me. It kills me. Anyways, okay, let's get into our game of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
We want to be really rapid fire with this.
Okay.
So for the boys, Lorcan, possessed demon Dorian, and fresh fade Rowan because he has a slick new hairstyle. And he says, thank you for the oil. My skin was a little bit dry.
Right.
So...
oh, God. Okay. Possessed Dorian?
Yeah. Because, I mean, I'll bleed whatever color you tell me to. Excuse me. You did not have to go that hard. Okay. So.
Okay. So listen, I'm going to assume in this that I can get Dorian back. So I'm going to marry Dorian.
Okay.
And I don't really care that much about Rowan or Lorcan, so it could go either way for me.
Who's meaner?
That's a good question.
In this book,
Lorcan has been drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much, so I guess we'll kill Lorcan.
Okay, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, we are still obviously going to marry Rowan because I love him. Then we're going to be fucking demon-possessed Dorian and killing Lorcan as well. Okay. So for the girls, we have Elide, Lysandra, and Nesrin. I feel like this is tougher than the guys because I love all of them.
I think I need to marry Elide, fuck Lysandra, and kill Nesrin, I guess. I don't love these options.
Yeah, we'll say avoid Nesrin because she doesn't deserve to die.
Yeah. And
I agree, though.
And let's make it hug Lysandra. It feels really weird to say fuck Lysandra.
I'll fuck her. Just kidding. Consensually.
I will hug her consensually.
Yeah, okay. So obviously there's a lot of changes we had with our characters in this book. We already discussed Lysandra and we discussed Kaltain. I want to know how you feel about Lorcan personally. I know a lot of people go really, really hard for him in this fandom.
Okay.
I am not one of those people. I only like how he interacts with certain characters. And I think that a lot of people tend to give Chaol a really hard time and they judge him because he's like, you're a monster to Aelin at the beginning of this book. But I'm like, Lorcan straight up calls Aelin a bitch. So he's just as mean and insulting, in my opinion, as Chaol. But I'm just like curious how you feel. I do respect that he came back and he ended up helping them because he realized that, surprise, Adian is Gavriel's son. But that was like his only reason. Like he didn't give two shits about Rowan, his fellow cadre member.
Yeah. So. I think Lorcan is a good example of a character of when the villain is depending on who's writing the story.
Yeah. He's just so down bad for Maeve.
Yeah.
And I don't like her.
Yeah.
And even though he claims, oh, well, I'm doing it to save her, and she doesn't know that I'm trying to save her, I'm like, look, you're way too obsessed with this bitch.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. I think he's drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much. But I do think he's a good example of a character of the villains depending on who's writing the story. And like from Lorcan's perspective, Aelin is a bit of the villain here. And like he's her villain. She's standing in his way of what he needs to help the person he cares about. And so I don't hate Lorcan, but I also don't feel like I know enough about Lorcan. But, again, I'm like drinking a little too much of that Maeve Kool-Aid. Like, let's do some critical thinking here.
Yeah. So I'm going to hold our discussion on Nezrin because I think that we will have a lot more to say about her in our Tower of Dawn discussion. Okay. But I do want to ask about your opinions on Alid.
Alid, I feel like, is in some ways a very relatable character because I feel like she is really trying to survive, but she's not this highly trained assassin or shapeshifter or whatever. You know what I mean? She's just the girl next door. You know what I mean? Like I feel like for most people, she would be the character that like you'd probably have the most actual in common with as far as like resources and abilities in this world if you got thrown into it.
And yet she somehow has witch's blood, which no powers associated with it, though.
Apparently not enough to do her much good or give her much help. But I do like her. I find her interesting. I'm excited to see where she goes. I think her origin story is like very sad.
I know. She just had a hard time. Yeah. And when she was stuck in the prison and was thinking, no one's going to come save me, no one's even going to notice that I'm gone, I was like, oh my God, I really felt for her. And I just wanted to reach through the pages and give her a hug.
I know.
Because it was just so heartbreaking to read. Okay, now I really want to discuss Astrid in this book because we did get her backstory. We know that she fell in love with a hunter. And then abandoned him, but continued to like keep tabs on him, and he never fell in love again.
Yeah.
And she had her stillborn, which is heartbreaking. Like her backstory always makes me cry.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, do you love her as much as I do?
No, I do. I feel like she is a very important character in this story in the sense that she's been holding this for a long time. This realization that the way the witches are living isn't quite right. And I find the way she's pushing Manon to open her eyes and see, like, should we be doing this the way that we're doing this? Like, is this quite right?
Yeah.
Is very subtle but powerful at the same time. But her story was heartbreaking, and I do really enjoy her as a character.
Oh, yay.
I don't feel like good about her future, though.
Oh, no, do tell. You don't think she's going to survive?
I feel like she's the character who sacrifices herself for other people. So I don't know. I'm scared for her. I'm scared. I'm trying not to get too attached.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, I know you can't. But I'm just scared for Astrid's future.
Right. Yeah, no, at this point, you should be scared for everybody's future because the way that this book ended was perfect. Like, I felt that if the series ended here, I would have been satisfied, even though not every single storyline is tied up at this point. I was like, well, we're at a good enough place.
Yeah.
And it's about to go downhill real fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's she's pretty great.
Okay.
And then as for other characters, so obviously we have Aelin and Dorian and Chaol and like all of their changes. At this point, a lot of people in the fandom either like Chaol as a character or despise him. So I'm just kind of curious how you feel. I know every single time that I reread this book, I do get really annoyed at him, but he does in the end, you know, tell Aelin, this is how you do bring back magic, and he makes that ultimate sacrifice. So like, I respect him and I do like him as a character again. But that being said, a lot of people just still really hold that against him. And I think part of it has to do because he is a man with 0 powers, but
okay. Yeah, I was frustrated with Chaol in this book. I think that his fear is driving him.
I think that is so valid.
Yeah, and I think that fear driving you can cause people to have a great need for control. I think control is often a product of fear. And we see him saying things like, well, perhaps there shouldn't be magic because that's not fair. And it's not great. It's not great because it's like, well, okay, well then perhaps we shouldn't have men, Chaol, because they seem to be causing most of these fucking problems. All right?
Period.
So, yeah. So I think that we see a lot of that, you know, discourse in these books that mirrors a lot of things that happen in the world where people want to control things out of fear. And I think that we don't control who people naturally are because we're uncomfortable with who they naturally are. That's crazy. Being born with magic doesn't make you a serial killer.
No. And it goes back to that quote that Dorian had made, I want to say back in Crown of Midnight, where he says you can't pick and choose, or maybe it was Air of Fire, but he said you can't pick and choose which parts of her to love. Yeah. And that's just so valid. And I love that just continues to come into play, because it's like you can't just despise people for this one aspect of their life that they can't control.
Yeah, well, people are whole people and they're complicated, but I think we have to love people for who they're trying to be and who they're fighting to be and the world that they're fighting for, and not just one tiny piece that we're like, oh, I don't like that one tiny thing. But more importantly, though, especially if it's just something that they're born being, like, I don't know, his fear of the magic, I think, is driving a lot of this problematic behavior and things that he's saying and unkind things he's saying, and blaming Aelin and being like, because you defended people there and defended yourself, now we have more problems here, so now those problems are your fault. And it's like, no.
I was so mad. And he's like, well, you're just gallivanting with your prince. I'm like, she literally destroyed multiple Valk princes. She was training. She was doing all these things. She wasn't just off on vacation. Yeah. And you were the one that sent her over there, by the way. Exactly. And so like to have him blame her for what happened to Dorian was just very uncalled for. And like I said, it doesn't matter how many times I reread the series, I always get extremely, extremely frustrated with him at the beginning of this book. But I do forgive him by the end. But he's, it gets me heated every time.
I mean, I think it's a very stereotypical character of a person who has to cast blame elsewhere because they can't look inwardly. And I think Chaol's inability to look inwardly is his biggest fault. So I definitely think he needs to look inward more. Like, you're blaming her for doing this. Well, you sent her there, so then I guess it's your fault. And then, well, but Dorian wanted to go get her from Endovir to bring her. Like, how far back does the fault go for like someone else's choices and actions? So it's like, why are you choosing to stop there? Because it's convenient for you. You're stopping at that point in the chain because that's what's convenient for you, because you don't have to look at the choices you made and the decisions you've made. And so I definitely think he's a character that has a difficult time looking inward. And while that's frustrating to read, and I don't love that about him, and he's not my favorite character in this series, I understand him as a character. He's, you know what I mean? Like, I find him an interesting character. I don't think he's the most likable character, but I do understand him.
Yeah, I definitely think he's probably one of the characters that's maybe most relatable. Same with Alid. For those reasons, because people are messy, you know, and he is extremely flawed. But I think you're going to get your wish, because pretty soon he's going to be forced to look inward.
Okay.
A lot.
Well, I think that'll be good for him.
No, definitely. And then I obviously always want to talk about Aelin, but I don't want to spend too much time because I always talk about her. But did you kind of understand now how she's able to tie in her skills as an assassin? Like, did it make a little bit more sense to you this time when she was kind of like taking control and had all of her devious plans and like broke into the bank, changed the will, like killing all these people? Like, did the connection kind of happen a little bit more for you this time?
Yeah, I mean,
how ruthless she could get. Because even Rowan and Adian were like, oh my God, what? Like, this is like a different person.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of my point, though, is that I feel like there were two different characters in this series. There's Selena from Throne of Glass and part of Queen of Shadows. And then there's Aelin that's like the rest of the book. And those two characters still don't seem like they're the same person to me. Like, I don't connect to them. I don't think that they go together personally. But I enjoy her now.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because like now she's Aelin. Like before she was putting on this fake persona. And so she's like having to adopt that persona again. But it's like, oh yeah, you really do see her skills like in real life.
Yeah.
And then the last character that I personally want to talk about is just Dorian and how tragic it was to get those very, very short chapters of him just being possessed and not even realizing that he was the one torturing his own men.
Yeah.
I cry.
Yeah.
How did you feel about reading Possessed Dorian?
It was really sad. I think for me, the part is when he is upset that they didn't kill him and end this. And yeah, that was really, really sad and really tragic. So and having him just be like trapped within his own body like this and to like have lost his agency over his body and to have somebody, wearing his face, doing these horrible things in his name and him having to witness it. It's just, Dorian awful. Really went through it in this book. And I'm sure part of this was that his character did need to grow and grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he had been shielded, and to some extent I think he did it to himself from the horrors of what had been happening and what his dad had been doing. And I think some of that was self-imposed, and I think that now he has to know. And it was horrible and rough. Yeah, I felt for him in this book.
Me too. And just knowing that he's never going to be the same. I mean, a lot of characters don't, but this was just really a catalyst for his growth here in this book. Yeah. So it was hard to go through, but I am curious to see where he goes from here.
All right. Since we're ready to move on, let's talk about the characters we crown as King's Champion or send the champion after. Kinsey, who you crowning?
Lysandra and Aemon.
I think for me it would be Lysandra and Manon. I think I'm always going to choose Manon. I love Manon.
Manon's incredible. Yeah. I'm holding in a lot for Manon. I'm going to talk about her later.
Yeah.
Okay, which character's on your hit list? Who are you sending the King's Champion after?
I mean, I think there's like, Maeve would be an obvious answer.
Yeah.
But like, I guess, you know what? Manon's grandmother.
That's who I was going to say. Yeah. She is at the top of my shit list in this book.
Yeah.
In this book, after hearing Astrid's backstory, I was just like, oh, I'm so livid. And like how she's raising Manon to be this ruthless monster. And it's like, actually, witches are capable of love. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
And also Arobin. He's just so disgusting in this book.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Arobin's awful too. I think for me, Manon's grandmother is... like, she, to some extent, was a product of how she was raised, except that the witches are supposed to, like, revere their children, their witchlings. Like, those are supposed to be greatly protected. And I feel like she has actually turned her back on some of that. So even though they are supposed to be, like, ruthless and there's all these parts of their personality that you're like, I'm kind of rooting for a serial killer here, like, but I just love these characters so much. Yeah. And they're so fascinating. But there is a part of her that I'm like, what are you getting out of this that you're willing to turn your back on this deeply held belief and, like, culturally important thing that you protect your witchlings? So yeah, like, fuck her so much.
I personally found that really heinous.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean they're these sacred things and you're just totally fine with them creating monsters and not even respecting the witchling? So yeah, she sucks.
Yep.
Okay. So really quickly, before we move on from our characters, I would like to make some adjustments to the family tree.
Okay.
First of all, I do have an addendum. I was incorrect on one thing from the family tree from our Heir of Fire episode. Aelin and Adian's mothers are not sisters. They're cousins. So Adian and Aelin are not actually first cousins. They're like slightly distant cousins. I don't know. Is that like first cousin once removed? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. That stuff gets complicated and weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
They refer to each other as cousins, though. Okay. And I think it makes sense because they were raised together. I mean, I have cousins and aunties that, well, call them tias, but we're like, oh yeah, they're our aunt, they're our cousin, but like really we're not like super closely related. It's just like how you're raised. So their mothers were cousins.
That makes more sense.
She's actually, I think, first cousins with, I am going to say his name wrong. It's like Galvin or Gavin or something.
Okay.
With the Ashrivers across the sea in Wendland, I believe those are like her actual first cousins.
Gotcha.
But I could be wrong.
Okay,
anyway,
that makes a little more sense.
Yeah, and then the other thing with the family tree is just now we know Gabriel's his daddy. Okay. Did you suspect?
I mean, I figured it had to be somebody like important to the story.
Yeah, it wasn't like some rando.
Yeah.
It's like I'm pretty sure the only options like phenotypically for him would have been Fenris or Gavriel because they're the only ones that have like golden hair.
Yeah. So. I mean, we had so many characters that I was like, oh, it's going to be like one of them named important older fae, like, but I wasn't sure which one.
All right, let's go ahead and move on now. We don't need Magic and Aurelia to discuss all of the magical moments and quotes in Queen of Shadows. I have a lot to talk about, but I'm really going to try my best to rein it in.
Okay.
But before we start with favorite scenes, I got to know, do you ship Manon? And you can't say why choose. You are not allowed to cop out on this.
Okay.
Would you rather see Manon with Dorian or Elide?
I love how I'm going to be like, why choose?
You're not allowed to. You can only pick one.
I love probably Dorian, actually, because I feel like Manon is more of a mentor for Elide than anything else.
Okay. For me, I definitely was like really wanting Elide and Manon.
Oh.
I was just like, this is going to be so cute. But I felt like at this point in the story, it's definitely showing like it's going to be her and Dorian.
Gotcha.
Just with that connection and how she kind of allowed and helped him to break free from the Vogue Prince in a way. But yeah, I definitely did. And just so you know, she's over 100 years old. So I don't know if that's weird for you.
She is
with
older.
that age gap.
It is kind of weird. How old is he?
He's got to be like 20 or 21 or something.
I need to give it a few years. Okay.
And she's like 110 or 120. She's between that.
Yeah.
area.
Maybe she needs to wait a few years. Let that frontal lobe develop.
Yeah. And then I'm going to try to like my best to just save like favorite scenes for last, but ding dong, the witch is dead. We finally got Arabin and the king dying in this book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how satisfying that was.
Listen, Arabin dying was so great. It should have taken place, I feel like, over the course of like 9 to 13 chapters of just pure torture.
I agree. At first, I was a little disappointed that it was only the slashing of a neck, which is like, oh my God, girl, like, am I sick in the head? But going back and just being like, having Lysandra being the one to end it all for him, and Aelin being like, I will offer you this gift.
Yeah.
And then we still got the justice from Aelin and the satisfaction of her beheading him. She's like, oh, just in case.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good. It was great. I'm so glad he's dead. I was like, thank God.
And just how they fucked up all of his plans, too, with her altering the will. And then she also kind of got revenge on the other people that participated in Sam's death.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. And then just the king's death as well, and the exploding of the glass castle. Like, that was such a visual scene for me. And the wall of fire that Aelin puts up to like melt the glass and freeze it in place to save the city.
Yeah.
So good. So satisfying. And yet we still have Erewhon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not great.
Whew. Yeah, I just had to get that out of my system. Okay, so I do have a couple of events that I want to discuss first, unless you want to talk about your favorite scenes first. What would you rather do?
No, let's just talk about the ones you have planned.
Okay, so the rescuing of Adian.
I mean, I'm so glad he was rescued.
Me too. I was like stressing. I was so stressed.
We recently read an arc for one of our favorite authors, and I won't say what book it was, but I was so worried that he was like gonna be like beheaded in front of her or something at the last second, killed in front of her. I was like, I feel like I have trauma from that arc we were in. And I was like, oh God, is she gonna like go there to save him? And he's gonna be killed right in front of her.
Yeah. Oh my God. That like was really, really stressful for me. Yeah. Okay. This one for me is like an incredible scene, and I just want to know how you felt about it. Okay. But the entire sequence of events that happen in the Oakwald Forest, from rescuing Lysandra to having the I'll bleed whatever color you tell me to moment with Dorian, and then Aelin fighting Manon and tricking her. And I just remember the first time I was reading this, I was like, oh my God, Aelin, shut up.
I know.
Because she, like, at this point, Manon's going to let him go, right? Yeah. And then she goes, at least you're smarter than Baba Yellowlegs. I was like, oh my God. And so then they're like, they have to fight.
Yeah.
And then the temple is crumbling. Yeah. And then she makes the decision to save Manon. Yeah. And she's like, well, because that witch screamed her name, like, I screamed your name. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And like Rowan sacrificing himself and being gravely injured. Mm-hmm. Like, just that entire sequence of events is so intense.
No.
And I just want to know how you reacted as someone who's read that for the first time.
No, so that was my favorite scene in the book.
Okay, same.
The fight at the temple was top tier.
It was so good.
I am always so impressed by authors who can write fight scenes where I can understand what's happening.
Yeah.
I feel like Sarah J Maas does it very well. I feel like Rebecca Yarros does it very well. And I feel like Callie Hart actually does it very, very well. Yes. And I don't think she gets enough credit for that personally. Mm-hmm, and I think fight scenes are so hard to write. And I think they all do it really well. And I think men should take note, because women are writing people fucking each other up really well.
Period. Yeah, no, it was so good. And I remember just from the moment Manon was first introduced, I really wanted her to meet these other characters.
Yeah,
and so I was really anticipating their meetup, and then to have it happen in that way. Yeah. And you're like, wow, these are two baddies. Like, they're so incredible. And neither one of them has magic that they can use and wield yet. And yet Aelin won.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the temple crumbling was definitely a big help.
Well, but listen, though, it was crumbling because of their brawling.
Yeah,
okay?
no.
Like, there was a lot of slashing and fighting and punching going on. But yeah, no, like, it was just like so good. And I feel like that's just another really, really visual scene. I also just want to know how you felt about Manon's repayment to Aelin when she wrote that message on the wall.
And I went and watched your reel, by the way.
Yes, witch killer. The human is still inside him.
Yeah. No, it was great. I was she was like off to do something, and I was like, what is she gonna do? And leaving the message for Aelin and letting her know, like, you can still save him. That was such a good moment. And
so good.
I just feel like in the future they've got to be like teamed up. They can't be on the opposite sides of this war forever. I think they're going to be teamed up. I think they have to be, because like watching them fight each other in that temple, oh my God, like that. I say watching because it felt that visual. Reading them fight each other. It was so good. It was so like, that's a scene. I'm like, I really like. I'd love to see that someday. Like, I'd like to see that made.
Yes.
It'd be so good. And
it was so good.
To be clear, made by humans, not AI. People have been making scenes and sharing them on Instagram using AI animation.
We don't fuck with AI.
We don't. I reject those. I'm like, not interested. Blocking accounts.
Not interested.
Like,
now, cosplayers reenacting those scenes on the other hand.
Fine. Totally different.
I love it. I love it.
Love that. We love to see humans making art.
Yes, we do.
So, but yeah, it's so good.
Back to that scene, though. So, like, going from Aelin trying to kill him when they're rescuing Adian, and then Chaol getting upset, and then Chaol realizing, wait, I do have to kill him. And so then he attempts to, and then the whole fight breaks out. Yeah. And then they've just decided, okay, you're right. There is no hope. We have to do this. And if Chaol can't do it, that's his last gift to his friend, then Aelin will step in and help him. But to get that message at the right time and immediately have the plans change and just like feel that hope. Oh my gosh, like I screamed, I cried. I feel like it's one of the hardest lines of Throne of Glass. It's just such a cool, intense moment. That's also one of my favorite scenes of this book. Just so incredible.
I maybe was just like living in delusion because I was just like, oh, he's like definitely like still gonna be saved. And I think, I don't know, I think I always just live in that delusion. I'm like, oh, they're definitely gonna be saved. But that message, I was so excited. I was like, yes.
I'm so glad that you felt that way. Yeah. Okay. And then, because I'm trying to like keep everything chronological, we did slightly already speak on the collapsing of the castle and also Lorcan coming back to save them. But that entire final like battle scene, and obviously magic came back, and then we have Lysandra shifting into the ghost leopard and like taking people out. Like, so good.
When they mentioned the ghost leopards, I was like, oh, those are gonna be important at some point. They're gonna come back. But when Lysandra decided to shift into one, I was like, let's fucking go. I was so excited.
Adian's scared of her.
Yeah. No, that's the best part. That's the best part.
It's so good. So good. So good. And then just Aelin at the end going up to the people being like, your king is dead. Fucks y'all. The slaves are free. And if I see any of y'all bitches trying anything, I'm going to light shit up. So think appropriately.
Yeah. Watch yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, just finally like crossing over the threshold and being home. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So, yeah, those were really good. And are there any scenes that you would like to discuss before I ask another question?
I have a little micro scene that
I'd love to hear it.
Really precious to me. And I'm learning, I have realized that this is like a weird, I don't know if it's, you want to call it a micro trope. I feel like we tend to call it those things when they're like these little moments we like to see repeated throughout books. I had actually written a very similar type scene into a project of mine like 3 years ago. Before I ever read this, I had this in a project, and if you ever get to read it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you read it. But when a lead is cold and Abraxos warms her up, that was like my precious baby.
Oh, so cute.
And he like hides her under his wing, and he's like trying to hide her from Manon because even he realizes like she's gonna be pissed if she's here. But he's like warming her up, and I was just like, my sweet baby. I love him so much. But animals that are like supposed to be like fierce and terrified, being cuddly with a person, or even maybe just a little animal, like when you see videos of like bears snuggling like a dog, you know, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, I love that. And I have something totally different animal.
Yeah.
But a similar thing in a work in project I have that I'm like, if I ever finish it, I have like 3 work in projects in 3 totally different genres. But
girl, I
love it.
You're preaching to the choir here. I have 5 ongoing and also multiple genres. So, okay. So I know that Rowan and Aelin are maybe not your favorite couple, but for me, they're my OTP. Which is, if you skipped the Tumblr era, is like one true pairing. It's like,
oh, gotcha,
your ultimate couple.
Okay.
I love them in this book. I absolutely adore them. I found all of their moments super sweet. And I remember being so sad at the Heir of Fire that they were separated. And I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting for him to come back. And so to get that scene where they're like, who is that? And it's like Rowan. Yeah. And they're like just running to embrace each other. It was just like, oh my God. And when, unlike Sam, she let him use her lavender soap. Look, girl, the waterworks were coming. And just like the way that they were like laughing with each other and bantering was so good. It was getting a little hot and heated a little bit, but he was like refusing to move forward. I just really, really loved their relationship. I felt like it was a lot more sweet and tender. I don't know if you felt the same way, but like I loved them in this book. Like it was everything to me. And like how he also had mentioned, and I'm paraphrasing the quote here, but he's like, I realized like if I only had like an ocean between us or something and I never got to say like what I had to you or he was like saying like if she had died, then like he can't like go past death, like, and before he only had an ocean. And so like he had to tell her or whatever. And oh God, like I love them so much. That's just all.
Yeah. I feel like either his mate was just a bad pairing or it's going to turn out she wasn't really his mate or something weird, because there's a point where he talks about how if something happened to Aelin, he'd get all the word keys and like go through realities until he found her again. And I'm like, I see you doing that for your mate. So I'm like, I don't know. I was just like, this seems odd to me. If you're going to do that for her, but not your actual mate, it just seems strange. So I'm like, either that was like, because Sarah J Maas has said before, sometimes mates, like, universe gets it wrong or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that what happened here? Or like, she just wasn't your mate. And for some reason you thought she was? I don't know if they've discussed in this book ways for people to think somebody is their mate, but like, turns out they're not. Like, I don't know that that's been brought up before. I don't think it has, but maybe it has. And,
no, not in this series. No.
Yeah, and I don't think it's been brought up, but I kind of feel like, I'm like, that seems strange to me. Like, if you're willing to do that for her, but you don't feel like you want to do that for your mate, then like, now you have that option. Like, if there's word keys, there's like, you could go do that. So I kind of feel like it's going to turn out like maybe his mate wasn't really his mate or something. Good enough to carry his baby, not good enough to go through realities for. So
maybe it's because they're Karanam, but also he's blood sworn to her, and so like that's his queen, and so like there's different bonds involved. But I know for me personally, since Heir of Fire, I was completely delusional, and I was like, you cannot tell me otherwise. They're mates. They're either allowed to have two mates, or she's like reincarnated, or like it wasn't really her mate. Like, I don't know
or you can
what
have one
it
mate at
is.
any time, and if something happens to one of them, you can have another one.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what the explanation is, but you cannot tell me otherwise. Like, these are mates, okay? But yeah, I just really loved it. And how she also teased him with the gold night dress that she borrowed from Lysandra. Like, what a girl's girl. Oh my God, thanks. Like, we love when girls let us borrow clothes.
Yeah. I find it weird to borrow sex clothes, but like
I don't think it was panties, to be clear. Okay. I think it was just like a slip, which is less weird. But yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, I'll borrow some sweats. I'm not going to borrow a nightie.
Yeah. Speaking about this era of the book also reminded me of the meeting with Arabin before he is murdered.
Oh, yeah.
I already did mention the oil line. Incredible. But I have to know what your reaction was when Arabin slipped what he thought was the Volg ring onto Aelin's finger, and she's acting and was like, I love you, Arabin Hommel.
Yeah.
Please tell me how you reacted.
Okay. She said that she knew Rowan and Adian were like in the hall. And so I was like, well, they'd hear this happen. Like, Rowan can hear this happening. So I was convinced this was part of the plan. Because I was like, if this wasn't part of the plan, he'd be in there ripping his head from his body. So I was convinced it was all part of the plan, but I was still disgusted at Arabin. Like, absolutely gagging. Oh, and I want to tell you a funny anecdote about the oil. Like, I had to remember to tell Kinsey this when we talk about this, is that the oil is described as smelling like it's like an almond-based oil.
Mm-hmm, it is.
Almond oil makes me gag if I smell it. And I love almonds, but almond oil specifically, if I smell it, will like make me gag. And I'm like, of course he smells like almond oil. Of course that's his smell, because he's disgusting and everything about him makes me want to vomit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rowan smells like home to Aelin. It's pine and snow, just like Terracin. I'm like, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I screamed. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like when he put the ring on. And I also felt like it had to have been part of the plan. But as they were kind of panicking but not doing anything, and she continued that act even in the carriage and even until they got back to the apartment, I was starting to sweat. I was like, why is she still acting at this point? Like, this is actually crazy. But I was so relieved when it wasn't actually that. And there was even a moment where she had, lied to him and she told him, oh, you have to like drink their blood. And I was like, is he like being blood sworn to him right now or to her right now? But like, obviously he wasn't. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But speaking of blood sworn and blood oaths, the scene when Aedion found out that Aelin had asked Rowan to take the blood oath instead of him, and he was just like, that was always supposed to go to me. And then she's like, okay, well, do you want it now? And he's like, no, actually, I'm gonna be a diva and you have to do it in front of everybody, and we're not gonna do it until you have your court back. I was like, oh, freaking course, because you're such a dramatic bitch. But
he loves to make an entrance.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know, I thought this book in general had a lot of really funny moments.
No, it did.
It did. Like, this is why I'm not allowed to say my favorite quotes, because I have so many. Like, all the love declarations between Aelin and Rowan, and like the friendship declarations between Dorian and Chaol, and like just the funny jokes. Like they're joking about how he would, like, oh, well, you got a haircut, Rowan. Is your hawk form like plucked now? Like, how does this work? Like, I just thought it was really funny. I really enjoyed this book. It was very funny, but it also made me cry a lot. And I don't think that it made you cry, but I am curious to know, were there moments where you did get emotional?
I don't think so.
God damn it. Okay, well, I've been holding back this one scene specifically, but I sobbed when she got to go visit Sam's grave.
Oh,
like, that fucks me up. Like, just the mention of the lavender soap and her choosing to give it to Rowan was already enough. But when she got to go visit his grave and like speak to him and was like, you would have been a wonderful king. Like, everyone would have loved you. Maybe you were my mate and I just never got to know. And then to have Rowan supporting her in that moment and understanding who Sam was to Aelin, and also placing a little pebble on his on his headstone. I was like, oh my God, my baby. So that really got me. And I've already mentioned the other scenes that made me cry, with like Astrid and the witch killer scene, and just even the collapse of the castle when they're like starting a new world, and like with Kaltain. Like, I'm just a baby when I read this book. But I was kind of hoping maybe the funeral, but I guess it wasn't a funeral, but visiting the graveyard.
Yeah.
But I know that he doesn't feel the same way as you. But I was like, maybe we'll get her with Astrid. Maybe we'll get her with the hunter story. No. I feel like if you're gonna cry before Kingdom of Ash, I do think the next book will do it for you.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. Okay. So last thing here is just, we've discussed all of the scenes we wanted to discuss. What were your favorites? You said the fight with Manon.
Yeah.
The fight between Aelin and Manon. Any other scenes where you're like, this was my fave?
Just that moment with the Braxos.
Okay. Yeah. For me, it was...
And I mean, Arobynn dying, obviously.
Yes, obviously. Yeah. So for me, in order, it was Rowan and Aelin reuniting in the alley.
Okay.
Arobynn dying. The fight between Aelin and Manon. And then the message to Aelin from Manon, and just the castle collapsing. And then finally being able to step foot into Terracin. Like, A+. No notes. This is just a really satisfying book. And when people are like, you can't expect books that are in the middle to be like having a lot of things happen. Like sometimes it's filler. And I say no excuses, because this is quite literally the middle point of the series. Technically, it's like book 4, and there's only 3 more books to go, but the pages get much lengthier.
Yeah.
So this is like the midway point, and so I say no to that.
Well, to be fair, I feel like in this series, a lot of the filler was up front, but
I will say, like setting the stage.
Yeah, I will say this book, though, it was the first one that I was reading that I was like trying to find every little moment to like go back to, because I'd be like in the middle of a chapter and have to stop reading, and then I'd be like, oh man, I'd be trying to like go back and finish that chapter at like every opportune moment. So it was the first one that I kept like thinking about picking up the second I put it down. So
that makes me excited, because I was going to ask you, like, at this point, are you happy to have continued the story or the series?
Yeah, no,
like,
I mean, this was definitely my favorite one so far.
Yay.
So yeah.
Oh, yay.
I did enjoy this one.
That makes me so happy. Okay, and then the final scene that I want to talk about, just like really quickly. Do you remember what I said in Air of Fire for my wish list of what I wanted to happen in this book?
Oh, you wanted to see her reunite with Adian. You...
Okay, I'll just tell you. Tell you. Okay, there was a specific thing that I had said that was so fucked up.
Oh, okay.
So I had said, I want Kale to grow a spine.
Oh, yes.
And how is that the wording that I use in the book where he breaks his spine?
Whoops.
I know, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, oopsie daisy. So I just thought that was hilarious, and I have been waiting to share that with you.
Yeah.
Because when I first posted that, I got so many comments from people being like, oh my God, what you said is actually hilarious, but we can't tell you why. And they're like, it's just specific wording that you use. And I didn't understand until I got there. And I was like, oh my God, that was so fucked up. It was not intentional. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty funny. Yeah.
That is funny. I mean, it's dark, but funny.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dark humor's kind of our brand, though, so it's okay.
Yeah, it kind of is. And then I did say I wouldn't share a ton of quotes. I've been kind of snaking them in a little bit, but there is one quote, and genuinely one quote that I do want to share.
Okay.
And it's because it's more of a motivational quote, and I just like really love it.
Okay.
So this is a conversation that Aelin is having with Kale right before the final mission to unalive Dorian and like take out the king and have magic come back, which like, yay! I don't think we've even discussed really at length, but like, yay, magic's back. Really changes the game from here on out. But when she says, we do not look back, Kale, it helps no one and nothing to look back. We can only go on. And he says, what if we go on only to more pain and despair? What if we go on only to find a horrible end waiting for us? And then Aelin says, then it is not the end. And I love that quote so much. Like, I just feel like it has such great like real world application. And so anytime I go through like a really hard time, I'm just like, well, Aelin says it's not the end. Like, if things are bad, like things are always going to get better. So clearly it's not the end.
No, that is a good one. That is a really good one. I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Any other small moments that you want to discuss before we talk about theories that for the next book?
I don't think so. I don't know that I have a ton of theories. I feel like I've kind of been discussing them as I go.
I know. Yeah. So you said you think that Rowan and Aelin might potentially be mates. You said...
Or something. I feel like we're going to find out maybe like his mate wasn't... I don't know. I'm like, you're willing to like get word keys and go find her through other realities, but not for your mate. So it just seems like, I don't know, like, or his mate was just a bad pairing or something that we're going to find out that like maybe...
Yeah. And then you said that
Astron's gonna die.
Astron's probably gonna die.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen with like the Blackbeak matron, like with Manon's grandmother? Do you think in the next book Manon's finally gonna be like, you know what, I don't fucks with you?
I hope so. That is my hope, because I think Aelin's gonna need Manon eventually.
Okay.
And I really hate the Blackbeak matron.
No, I hate her so much. And then we obviously are about to get this division in the storyline. So like characters are going to split off with Tower of Dawn and Empire of Storms. I guess this is kind of a good point to mention this, but if you haven't watched our Maasverse, everything to know about the Maasverse episode, some people do a tandem read.
Yeah.
And if you do not like Chaol, so I will straight up say now that's the character. If you do not like Chaol, then I would definitely recommend doing the tandem read because that book only has 3 POVs, really. It's Chaol, Nezrin, and another character. I won't say who. But there's like a lot of crap that happens too. And the pacing for both books are intense, but Empire of Storms is more intense. So when you tandem read, it kind of like makes it feel different.
Okay.
But it's very clear who's who because they go off to the southern continent. Like there's no confusing that. At this point, Karly, are you interested in doing the tandem read or just reading them separately?
I think I'm going to try to tandem, and if it just gets too complicated, I'll just keep reading Empire Storms and then finish Tower of Dawn.
Sounds good. Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah. So I'm pulling up my Goodreads here to get my initial theories that I had for both of those books. So please hold.
I kept hoping when we were reading this book, we were going to find out that Adian had an animal form because they kept calling him the Wolf of the North. And I was like, oh, that would be super cool. But I'm like, I feel like he would have known by now if he does. But I guess maybe he was a kid when he lost his magic. Are him and Aelin the same age?
I think they're like really close to the same age.
So I'm like, well, maybe he'll find out. So I guess maybe like that's the only other thing I could think of that like might potentially happen as he finds out he has an animal form. Because I'm like, I think it's interesting they call him the Wolf of the North. And maybe he doesn't know that he potentially has one yet because he hasn't had his magic back long enough to figure it out.
Be very interesting. Do you think that he will meet his father in the next book? Do you think that other Fae are going to come after like Lorcan, Rowan, Aelin?
I think eventually Lorcan and Rowan's interests will align again and they'll have to work together.
Gotcha. And then what do you think will happen with Dorian? He just got like a broken kingdom now, but Duke Parrington / actually it's Erewhon is just doing his own thing.
Yeah. I mean, Aelin needs Dorian to work with her. So I mean, I'm assuming he's going to want to stop Erewhon because of what happened to him. So I'm assuming he's going to be working towards that. But I also feel like there's probably a lot of people who are going to try to kill him.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Do you think that Elide is going to find Aelin in this next book? Or do you think someone's going to steal the word key from her? 'Cause she's got one of the word keys.
Yeah, I mean, she's just out there. So I think she'll get to Aelin eventually, but I do think she'll get intercepted by something for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with Chaol's situation, do you think that he will find the ability to walk again?
I don't know. I don't know that he'll walk again.
And do you think that they'll actually get allies with the Southern Continent? Because he's now the Hand of the King, but Aelin has also appointed him as an emissary of sorts to speak for Terrasen to request aid, because even though the King of Otterlin is dead, they are still anticipating a very long war against the witches and the wyverns and the Vogue and etc. Yeah. Do you think that that Chaol will be successful in actually forming alliances? I
think he will eventually. I think it's going to be a hard road.
Okay.
Because I think people are probably pretty pissed at Otterlin for the way that they were just conquering the world. So they're probably not really going to want to align with them. But
yeah,
also, I think a lot of kingdoms are going to see this as like a weak point where it's going to be a chance for them to grab more power and territory. So I think alliances are going to be tough, but I think there will be some.
Yeah. What do you think Maeve is going to do? Do you think she'll make a reappearance?
I mean, yeah, I think she'll reappear. I don't feel like she's worried enough about the Vogue, personally. I'm worried about Maeve.
Do you think she's like allied with the Vogue?
I mean, I don't know that she is already. It wouldn't surprise me if she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts, theories, or wishes for the next books before I share what my initial thoughts, theories, and wishes were?
I have lots of wishes for my characters. I hope Lysandra makes it to the end. I like her a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, there's a lot of characters I hope make it to the end. There's a lot of characters I don't think you're going to make it to the end, but that's okay.
Who do you think will not make it to the end besides Astrid?
Besides Astrid? I'm worried about Adian.
Adian?
Yeah.
Okay. Adian, Astrid, potentially Lysandra. Who else are you worried for?
I feel like I'm less worried about Lysandra. I am really worried about Adian making it to the end. I'm worried about Nesrin making it to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like losing her would be like probably something that could be done for Kale's character arc to like understand Aelin better and like how she got to be the way she was. Because at this point, I don't think he's really lost anybody.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he like lost Dorian for a time.
Yeah, but not really.
But
he got him back.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. I'm worried about those three characters the most right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then I actually do have one last question for you before I say what my theories were.
Okay.
But do you think that it will be pretty easy for Aelin to make her way back up? I mean, she's in Terrasen, but do you think it'll be easy for her to regain her seat? Or do you think that people will maybe question why she was gone for so long? Or
I don't think it's going to be easy for her to regain her seat at all.
Okay.
I think they're going to be like 19-year-old trained as an assassin. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they'll be like, what's your training again?
Yeah.
Okay, so for Empire of Storms, I had said, I don't really know what to expect, and I don't know which characters are present in which book, because I was planning on doing the tandem read, but I said, I wish that everyone gets a happily ever after, because I was delusional.
Yeah.
I said, Aelin and Rowan are endgame, and mates, I will die on this hill. Lysandra turns into a snow leopard every chance she gets to tease Adian. Adian meets Daddy Kitty Cat, and Alid reunites with Aelin, and Irene is reintroduced to the story. Like, I was really, really hoping, like, now that we had Lysandra come back, I was like, please let us have Irene come back at some point. I also said, Kale regrows his spine, and I was like, LOL at my Queen of Shadows prediction. Lorcan finds Alid during his hunt for the word keys, because, like, he's on the hunt, and Alid has it. So I was like, I feel like Alid and Lorcan are gonna somehow like meet up. Alid ends up being the most badass witch. Manon and Dorian couple up, and I said, and the string pulling her is a mating bond. I said Dorian learns to control his powers. Manon can take down the Vogue King with her eyes, because when they were battling that first Vogue that she killed, I don't know if you caught on to that, but that was Dorian's cousin. So
okay.
That was Dorian's cousin, the guy that she had killed and was like upset about. But the witches with the gold eyes could control. So I was like, maybe she can control them with the gold eyes. Abraxos gets a flower shop because he loves to sniff his flowers. Rowan's friends are freed because I really just want his friends to be free. And Maeve turns to Ash, obviously, still hoping that she turns to Ash. And finally, the people introduced in the Assassin's Blade come back to bite Aelin in the ass. And I said, I'm looking at you, Pirate Lord and Ansel.
Yeah.
I was convinced. Like, I was like, Irene's going to be a positive one, but the Pirate Lord and Ansel are not going to be very positive. I said, Aelin kicks absolute ass and is crowned queen, as she should. And finally, someone important will die, because I haven't sobbed hard since the Assassin's Blade. I mean, which is also a lie, because I did cry like very hard in Queen of Shadows. But yeah.
It's funny. I think Ansel's going to be important, but I think Ansel will actually be helpful.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's interesting.
I kind of do, because I think like this whole thing where she's like, I feel like I need to like give this person a second chance or help them or let them go, like when she feels that way. And how she did that with Manon, and then Manon came back and gave her the message. Well, she let Ansel go. And I mean, I think I'm concerned because Ansel's like in the territory the witches want.
Yeah, and that'll be messy, because if she wants to be allies with Manon.
Exactly. So I think that is going to be a problem. But I do think Ansel being alive is still going to be important. I think there's something she's going to need from her that helps her with something. Even if eventually Ansel's like pissed and they're not friends. I do think that there's an important reason why she's still alive that will help Aelin.
Okay, perfect. I think you have some really good thoughts going on. Okay, and then before we get into our final thoughts, there's one last little section. So if you have not read the entire Maasverse, specifically actually just the ACOTAR series, go ahead and skip ahead. You can check out the timestamps and see like how far to skip, because there is something that I do want to discuss from the ACOTAR series. So this is your spoiler warning, because we just have like a really important crossover moment that did happen in this book. So go away. Okay. So when they went to that bone temple,
that place
under
was cool.
the city, did you notice how there were carvings on these bones and how people would confess their truths?
Yes. No, that was super cool. I can't believe we didn't talk about this, because it was super cool. And I was reading this and I was like, oh, this god is totally going to exist. When they were like, oh, there used to be some sort of god of truth. And I was like, no, there definitely still is.
The bone carver?
Yeah.
Listen, girl, you cannot convince me otherwise. They are one and the same.
Yeah.
They are one and the same, because remember, Rhysand and the Amarin had both said, you know, you have to tell the truth to him. You cannot lie. He carves on bones. He's obsessed with death. Like, and Damaris, the sword, can also kind of sense if people are telling the truth. And this is not a sword, but Azriel has a dagger named Truth Teller, which is also really interesting. But yeah, I love going back, because the first time I had reread that, I was like, oh my God, that's totally, well, not reread, because I had read ACOTAR first, but I was like, oh my God, that's like the bone carver.
Yeah, no.
Very interesting.
The second they were like talking about how like, oh yeah, there's like tunnels underneath, and like people used to think there was a god of truth or whatever, I was like, oh, that's gonna be important. And then when they went down there, and I was like, oh boy, I can't believe we didn't talk about this earlier. I kind of forgot about it.
No, it's fine. I intentionally was holding this scene for here, but yeah, no, it was pretty crazy. And I'm convinced. But something else I will tell you that I held with their A Court of Wings and Ruin, that's book 3 discussion, is the bone carver carved onto the floor, or he had traced into the dirt, 3 interlocking circles, which is the Eye of Elena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I just think it's really interesting, because in ACOTAR, the gods don't have names, or like they don't remember the names of the gods. But they have the mother, and the mother kind of is like pulling things with like the strings. And so with like Manon, I'm kind of like, is this kind of like the mother happening? Like, I don't know, but
did witches create this world somehow to like create a safe space for witches? I don't know.
Like I said, Kraken translates to cauldron.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just had to get that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was that part was really cool.
Yeah. And then to find out that fucking Elena and her mate lied about taking care of Erewhon. I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyway, spoiler done. So we're out of that conversation. The final thing I want to ask, just to close this whole conversation, with everything we've discussed today, what is your overall rating of this book? You've said it's your favorite.
It
now.
Is. I mean,
it's an easy 5-star for me. It's a 5-star for me.
I feel like it's like at least a solid 4.5 star. Like it was a really fun book.
Okay. She's being stingy with that half star. Okay.
I feel like for me, a 5-star book is like a book I can't wait to go reread.
Okay.
I don't think I'll reread these books.
Oh.
Yeah. Like that's my only thing, like for 5 stars, is I either can't wait to go reread it, or it had to like completely change the way I think about the world.
Okay.
Like that's generally how I rate books 5 stars. And I can maybe like want to just immediately go reread like a silly little shifter romance. You know what I mean? Like Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I was like, I can't wait to reread this book.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So it doesn't necessarily mean it's not like a really good book. Like for me, that's just usually when I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go reread this.
Yeah, this is 5-star, my favorite, but I also say that it's a 3-way tie between this, Heir of Fire, and Kingdom of Ash. Okay. I think Kingdom of Ash is the best one. Heir of Fire, I get really excited with meeting Rowan and Manon.
The way people talk about Kingdom of Ash, I won't be surprised if that's a 5-star read for me.
I will be very surprised if it's not, to be honest. I mean, it's very long, but there's so much that happens. But yeah, so I'm really excited for you to do the tandem read. You are going to meet a lot of new characters in Tower of Dawn. That is honestly the last book in which you will be meeting more characters. They are the final players on the chessboard.
Okay.
But I'm very excited, and hopefully we will have you on the literal moment that you finish Empire of Storms. Like I immediately want you on. Like, you gotta call me and tell me when you are getting close to the end. And I know you're tandem reading. I don't give a fuck if the tandem read is done or not. We gotta hop on that call and talk about Empire of Storms.
All right.
So, yeah.
Sounds good. Everybody will have that to look forward to.
I'm so excited. Oh, this is so fun. Like, I've just been like really looking forward to discussing this one. And I'm happy that you're kind of like, oh yeah, I am excited for this book. Like, we're excited to continue reading.
No, I was like, every time I put this book down, I was like, oh man, I can't wait to go back to that. Like, I would be like reading, and I'd have to like stop to go, feed my dog, or things you have to do in life. And I'd just be like planning my days out so I could read as much as possible, because I knew I'd want to go back to it as soon as possible. So I read this one pretty quickly.
Good. Yeah. And I feel like, honestly, if people don't enjoy Crane of Shadows and they've been struggling to read the Throne and Glass series, at this point, if you don't like Queen of Shadows and you're not having a good time, or you even DNF, I'm like, it's not worth it for you to continue. Because at this point, it's just like, it's really not for you.
Yeah, well, you're also like halfway through the series. If you're not like having fun,
enjoying, like, just stop. Just stop. You're just like trying to prove a point, and it's like, to who? Like, you don't.
It's fine. Like, read. You're only going to read so many books in your life. There's only so many hours that you can dedicate to reading, and go read a book you love.
Exactly.
Find a new one. Go read Mate by Ali Hazelwood.
And on that note,
all right. This is where we leave you today, Basic Book Besties. Thank you so much for listening. Please leave us a review and join us for our next Throne of Glass reaction episode, where we are discussing our thoughts and feelings on Book 5, Empire of Storms.
Oh my God, girl, you are not ready. Like, when I tell you, listen, shit's gonna hit the fan.
Okay.
Like, really fucking quick.
Okay.
So good luck. No more happy endings. This is the end of the happy endings.
Okay.
So if you need more bookish content, we have 4 ongoing seasons. You're currently listening to our Crash Course season for the Maasverse, but we also have 4th Wing deep dive topics, fun author interviews, and our Book Bestie chats featuring spice ratings, our thoughts on recent adaptations, discussions on our current reads, and more. Our Maasverse Season 2 content releases weekly on Thursdays, while our other seasons release episodes sporadically on Tuesdays.
You can check out our website, basicandbookishpod.com, for info about our contact form, upcoming seasons, which authors we have scheduled next, events we're attending, and more. We've linked that down in the show notes.
You can join us over on Patreon, where you can access all of our episodes ad-free, 3 days early, and in full video, plus extras like exclusive quarterly book club access, our next one's in September, shoutouts on the show, and PDF resources. You'll find our Patreon link in the show notes, along with all the ways you can support the podcast.
Don't forget to stay in the loop by following us on social media at Basic and Bookish Pod, and joining us in our Discord chat. Who knows, you might just meet your next book bestie there.
We'll be back next week. Until then, prepare to crash out over ACOTAR 6 as we continue to crash course our way through the Maasverse.
I'm so close. I'm more than halfway done through the series.
You are. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I already started rereading Empire of Storms, and I'm just like, am I a strong enough warrior? I don't know.
You'll be fine. It'll be good.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm actually about to go to a baseball game, and I will most definitely be reading it at the game.
There you go.
So
that sounds nice.